up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. It's kind of lame, kind of cool, not really, but I'm here. So I got a 23andMe Ancestry and DNA kit for Christmas, and I got my results in, so I'm going to look through them now with you as my witnesses to see what kind of European I am, because I definitely know I'm some kind of European. Let's get started on that. I had everything sent to my phone, so I've got it all on my phone right here. They will be sending me my little packet thing in the mail eventually, but for now I've got all my results right here. Let's get started. Alrighty, Ancestry. Find out what you're made of. 54% something. That much I know it says. So let's see. So you pull it up here and it gives you a little pie chart of where you're from. And just judging from the map in the corner here, I'm definitely all of Europe somehow. I'm from every continent or every country in Europe somehow, judging from this map. So 99.8 European, which doesn't surprise me. As you can tell, I am very white here. So let's start at the top here. Eastern European, 54.3%. It lists let's go back in here. It had Riga, Latvia at the top of this little section here, which doesn't really surprise me. My grandmother on my dad's side of the family is actually from Latvia. Directly. She moved to America with my grandfather, my dad, and my uncle when my dad was like 3 months old. So that's pretty cool, actually, that it knows that I'm from Latvia just from that. So yeah, highly likely match is that I am from Latvia. So that's pretty cool. It shows right here. I don't know if it's going to focus here. Yeah, but it shows Latvia with it being the most likely match of 54.3%. So that's pretty cool that it knows that just from me spitting in a tiny little test tube. I'm 42% Northwestern European with a highly likely chance of being from Britain or Ireland. So that's a little bit of a surprise because I don't know of any relatives that are from that area. Certainly not that far west in Europe. I know a lot of my descent is from like Eastern Europe, which explains the 54.3% Eastern European, but I did not know I was any kind of Northwestern European at all. Except for maybe French and German, which is next on that list there. So 16.2% British and Irish from the Northwestern area of Europe, and 11.1% French and German, which doesn't really surprise me. Actually, I thought it would be bigger. I thought that would probably be like the 16 and the other one would be swapped. I'm very distantly related to Napoleon Bonaparte. And as we know, he was a French dictator. So the French and German doesn't really surprise me as much. The thing that does surprise me is that it is so little. I thought it would be much more because on my grandmother's side of the family, they are French Canadian. And looking at her history and her tree, we've got like a book of our ancestors. We do have a lot of influence from French Canada, like Montreal, Quebec area. We have a lot of family that kind of trickled down into the New England area of the United States. So I'm surprised it's that small. I'm showing 3.9% Finnish, which very surprising to me that I would be Finnish at all. Again, I know a lot of my relatives are from like the Baltic Sea area. I just didn't think they would be like that far north from the Baltic region. So that's a little bit of a surprise there for me that I have ancestry from Finland. The next one here is 10.8% broadly Northwestern European. So I can't even pinpoint exactly what country origin that is. I'm just 10.8% broadly Northwestern European. So again, like Germany, France, like that kind of area, I know I definitely am. So maybe that's what like that 10.8% is from, is like it's just a whole bunch of like cluster of my family that are from that area, and it just put a label on it. The next one here is 0.3% Southern European, 0.3% broadly Southern European, and 3.2% broadly European. So I'm definitely European, like through and through. My blood is just European blood. With that. And then I also have here, I have trace ancestry here and unassigned there. In my trace ancestry, I'm showing broadly East Asian and Native American. And I think I'm going to rely heavily on more of the Native American side because I do know on my grandfather's side that there's like huge way back when, huge Cherokee influence in my family. For it to be that little kind of surprises me, but again, I'm not sure how far back the Cherokee roots go. I just know that way back when, probably when like Christopher Columbus came and took the land from these indigenous people, that was probably when my family started, making babies with them. So 0.1%, if it was that far back, makes sense, but I didn't know. I thought it would be like more closer. There are definitely a lot of my family in this region that definitely probably have a stronger Cherokee root to them than I do. And then I have 0.1% unassigned that they couldn't figure out. So it's probably like my pinky nail. They couldn't figure out where my pinky nail was from. That's pretty cool, actually. I definitely knew I was going to be some type of European. Definitely have a lot of European roots. My Native American would be a little bit stronger, given my grandfather's history and given my grandfather's ancestry. I thought it would be a little bit more of a bigger percentage than the 0.1 there. So I think that's very interesting. Some of those places, again, I'm not really sure where that Finnish comes from or where that Irish or British comes from. I definitely thought I'd be more of the middle Europe area, or like the northeastern or like the middle portions, knowing where most of my family's from. I know my grandmother has like Czech ancestry, French, Canadian, French. So I'm surprised to see Finland and Britain and Ireland in there. And actually no Czech, surprisingly enough. It's very weird to me, but that might be like that broadly European part. That was like 3.2% or whatever. It also shows me like Neanderthal history, like ancient history, and then like my haplogroups, which is the haplogroups are because everybody has descendants from Africa. Like that is where most of our, like everybody is from Africa. It just depends on how far along like did your branch of family come from. So let's figure out where I come into play with my haplogroup. My maternal haplogroup is H1B, and that means, so the original here, you see the original is L. I'm H. So my family stems from H here. And let's see where H was. So H started 18,000 years ago, and H1B was about 6,000 years ago. So my family like popped up like 8,000 years ago. Yeah, approximately 5,000 to 7,000 years ago in southwestern Europe. So that makes sense. Again, I thought I would be like the southwestern or south like eastern Europe with the Czech, German, things like that. Slovakia. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Ukraine, Balkans, Caucasus Mountains, Russia, Baltic Sea. So that makes a lot of sense with, again, knowing where a lot of my ancestry is from. I'm kind of curious about the Neanderthal ancestry. I don't know what that's about. Ancient humans who interbred with modern humans before becoming extinct 40,000 years ago. This report tells you how much of your ancestry can be traced. So my Neanderthal variance is 280, which is 59% more than which is more than 59% of 23andMe customers. However, it only accounts for 4%, less than 4% of my overall DNA. So I am less than 4% Neanderthal, which is pretty interesting. Oh, and it tells me like my traits might have come from being less than 4% Neanderthal, like my straight hair, my lack of back hair, and my height, which I'm actually the tallest person on my mom's side of the family. My dad's side of the family, I'm like the shortest. So kind of like right in the middle. If we were to put my entire family, like my entire like direct family lined up, with me, my grandparents, my parents, my cousins, I would be smack dab in the middle of my dad's side being the taller part over here and my mom's side being the shorter part over here. So thank you, I think, Neanderthals, for that. I'm like right smack dab in the middle. It also says I'm less likely to sneeze after eating dark chocolate, which I've never noticed anybody sneezing after eating dark chocolate. So it's really weird. So I'm gonna have to like test that theory and make a bunch of people I know eat dark chocolate and see who sneezes. And say, hi, you're sneezing because you don't have that variant of Neanderthal in you. But I also got the health aspect of this kit. It was something I really wanted to do just because I know I have a lot of health problems. I have hypothyroidism, so my thyroid is like fucked up. I wouldn't say beyond repair because I'm on medication to fix it and keep it from getting worse, but I do have that. A moderately bad eyesight. I'm just overall just, I wouldn't say I'm super healthy, but I'm not like super sick either. I'm kind of like a typical American where there's some problems, but I'm not unhealthy and seeing like doctors for everything in my life. So I'm going to my health traits. It's loading. This is gonna be less than a minute. So I'm just gonna oh, that was quick. Cool. So I have variants detected, which I guess is like what causes things to happen and health problems. So let's look at my health predispositions. So I have slightly increased risks for age-related macular degeneration, which my eye doctor 4 years ago did tell me as I was getting older, my eyesight would get a lot worse, considering I can't see that well at night as it is. I have a slightly increased risk of celiac disease. I was actually tested for celiac 2 years ago and it was found negative. So I don't know if it's something that can pop up over time, but I should probably get that tested again if I'm going to be having a slightly increased risk. I don't know if it's something that can develop with age. But I should probably check that again. My doctor was a little bit of a quack. The first time I met her, she had somebody else's health charts. Yeah, I should probably get that checked again. And then hereditary thrombophilia, which I don't know what that is, so I'm going to check. Predisposition to developing harmful blood. Okay, that's great. Blood clots. Harmful blood clots mostly commonly form in the legs and can travel to the lungs. This test includes 2 most common variants. I only tested for 1 in my F5 gene. Cool. Most likely in people with European descent, which, yeah, me. So I know a lot of people in my family do suffer from blood clots, a lot of neurological problems caused by blood clots. My grandmother had a stroke. So I know that's definitely something to be on the lookout for because I know some of my cousins also get bad blood clots in their legs. So that's definitely something I know I'm probably going to be susceptible to in the future. It's why I exercise my legs a lot and keep them moving because I don't want to get blood clots in my leg. But it looks like everything else, there's no variants detected. So I've got like Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's, hemochromatosis, whatever that is. Oh, high cholesterol. Yeah, so I'm not going to get high cholesterol. I'm not going to get Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. I don't have any genetic makeup in my body to be predisposed to those. So that's kind of good for me. If I somehow come down with any of those diseases that it says I don't have any variants for and not going to be likely to get, I'm going to laugh and be like, just my luck, because that would just be my luck to get that. 44 reports of carrier statuses. So whether I have specific genetic variants that may not affect my health, but could affect my children's health. Let me just go through here, see if I have any of these. All right, so there's 44 carrier reports on here that it tests that. It may not affect you, but it could affect your children. I come up with variant not detected in all 44. So if my kids have anything, I can blame my spouse for those and have him do this test or have them tested for things if that happens. But, my kids are going to be healthy. As far as I'm concerned with my genetics, they're not going to get anything. They're not going to get cystic fibrosis. They're not going to get Mediterranean fever. They're not going to get Bloom syndrome. They're not going to get MCAD deficiency. Maple syrup urine disease. Whatever that is, they're not going to get it from me. I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. So it tells me like things like that. There it is. That's cool. Thank you. I have 8 wellness reports. Oh, this is cool. Find out how your DNA may affect your body's response to diet, exercise, and sleep. It says I'm most likely to be a deep sleeper, which is a lie. I wake up at the smallest sounds. I can't talk. Excuse me. I don't English very well. Predisposed to weigh less than average, and I'm tiny, very tiny. Muscle composition is uncommon in elite power athletes. I don't know what that means. I'm going to look into that a little bit deeper because I have no idea what that means. Sprinters and endurance athletes differ in the composition and capabilities of their muscles. These differences may be influenced by both training decisions and genetic factors. My genetic muscle composition is uncommon in elite power athletes, which means I guess that means basically my kind of muscle composition based on my genetics is not found in athletes who perform very well. And I am very bad at sports, and I don't like doing endurance running or sprinting or any kind of physical activity that makes me sweat a lot. So that makes sense. It hurts my muscles a lot to do that. I also have a very bad knee injury that I finally recovered from about a year ago, thanks to a life-changing surgery. That actually is probably not life-changing to most people, but it helped me live my life better. So thank you for that life-changing surgery, Dr. Edgar. I'm unlikely to flush red after drinking alcohol. I'm likely to consume less caffeine. I'm not likely to be lactose intolerant, and my sleep movement is likely average or less, which is also a lie because see how messy this is? I had to clean this up nice and make it neat, but it does not normally look that clean. I'm a very, very, very movie person in my sleep. I like to just all over the place. It tells me like physical traits that I might have based on my genetics, physical features, things like that. That's pretty cool. I'll have to look into that more. So it's cool. Also, there's research stuff that you can do through the app just to kind of help researchers study your genetics and like what your preferences might be, what kind of traits and personality you might have to kind of help better their process and get better and more thorough as they go. And then it also gives me options to connect with like relatives that I can find. So I'm actually going to go onto my view your relatives, let that load, and hopefully find some relatives that I may or may not know. It's taking forever. Here we go. So this sorts my relatives by percent of how close related we are. And right off the bat, my second cousin pops up, who I do know that I am friends with on Facebook. So I know at least one relative who has done this. There's a lot of names on here that I don't know. some that make sense. Like my grandmother's maiden name is Fisher, and I do see a Fisher on here. And the Fishers are actually the family I mentioned earlier that has a very heavy influence from French Canada that kind of trickled their way down into New England, which is where my family is from. So I think that's pretty interesting that there are Fishers who have done this. But I don't recognize any other family or names or family names in here. So I'm kind of like connect with them and meet them and on here and figure out where that goes. Oh, and it gives me like a family tree too. So I like this very cool family tree. Oh, cousins and stuff like that have done. Yeah, so it shows over here. So, cool. Again, this is very interesting for me. I did not know that I had any kind of ancestral background in Western Europe at all. I thought it was mostly Eastern, like closer to Russia and like Czech Republic and Germany. So I had no idea that it went that far west for my genetic ancestry. And I didn't think I was going to be that little Native American, just knowing where my grandfather's family is from. So it's pretty cool. I would definitely recommend the 23andMe kit. With the holidays, I thought it would take like a lot longer to get my results back because I sent out my stuff like the week of New Year's Eve and I got it back 2 days ago. So it was pretty quick and it said it could take up to like 3 to 4 weeks. So judging how fast they are and knowing that the holidays are busy, and probably a lot of people got these for holidays, they're still very quick getting the results back to you. I would definitely recommend it if you just have no idea where you're from or you know where you're from and you just want to meet more people that are in your family. Just doing it to like give your genetics and like answer those research questions, just kind of better 23andMe's ancestry I don't know, things. I can't English right now. But yeah, I would recommend it. Definitely do it. Find out where you're from, find out what you might pass on to your kids, find out things that you might develop in the future. I think it's a pretty interesting thing. The weight is really cool. They tell you what step of the process they're on, and you just like get more excited. You get an email going, "Oh, we're pulling your DNA now. We're gonna genotype it and figure out where in the world you're from." And I think it's a really exciting thing to do, just to learn about yourself and figure out where you're from. So definitely do it. And by the way, this video does not include paid promotion because I have like 0 followers. So if you found this video, good for you. Have fun listening to my ramblings. Have a good day. Peace.